The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show is on the air, and it's heard on WNOV 860 AM and W293CX 106.5 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, WWDB 860 AM in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and WAAM 1600 Ann Arbor, Michigan. Coming up on the program today, we're going to go over 4 mistakes that all gardeners make, as well as 5 rules of gardening you should follow. Our guest, he's known as Old Alabama Gardener on YouTube. Charles Hancock will be with us to inform us and share with us some of his lifelong knowledge that he's gathered in the garden. Plus your garden questions. That's a jam-packed hour, so let's start it right now. Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show. So glad you take the time out of your day to join us on the program. Whether you're in Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Southeast Michigan, or listening anywhere via the simple radio app, the TuneIn app, Banning, California, or elsewhere through the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com website under the radio tab, podcast replay, or in-studio video replay. We are thankful that you've tuned in and taken a little time out of your day to join us. I'm your host, Joy Baird. Beside me is my wife, co-host, best friend, and gardening partner,
Holly Baird.
You can find all of our content at the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com, where there is over 1,300 garden videos, short and long format, of in-garden and replays of this show in podcast and in-studio form. You can read the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show is sponsored. Executive sponsor of the program is
Planting conditions are always favorable with the Power Planter Earth Auger. No matter what the job is, Power Planter has the right size for you. Simply attach to a drill and let the Power Planter do the work for you. Create planting holes fast and efficiently with ease. No matter the soil type, it does the job effortlessly. Increase your root to soil contact. Leave the shovel and the spade in the shed. Hand welded and made in the USA, and we offer a lifetime warranty on product defects. For the size that fits your project, visit powerplanter.com.
There's a number of ways in which you can contact us through during the program and after the program, and they all revolve around the IV Organics hotline.
IV Organic 3-in-1 Plant Guard naturally protects plants against damaging sunburn, insects, and rodents, protects newly installed plants and trees, shields pruned and damaged surfaces for use on your roses, fruit and nut trees, ornamental trees, and shrubs. This product is non-toxic, environmentally safe, and organic. For more information, you can visit ivorganics.com. You can reach us by the ivorganics.com 3-in-1 Plant Guard email inbox, and that address is twvgshow@gmail.com, or you can text us on the Instant Access ivorganics.com text line, and that's 414-368-9311. You can tweet us using hashtag TWVG. Our Twitter handle is at TWVG Show. Don't forget our text line is at 414-368-9311.
We want to start off the program by talking about 4 mistakes that all gardeners make, and it's a lot of things that we have done ourselves. And for new gardeners, I see a lot of gardeners on Facebook under the gardening groups in Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. They ask questions that may seem to advanced gardeners silly, but they don't know. And that we're here to help each other. So we're going to go over 4 mistakes. I think we've actually got like 9 or 10, but we're going to see how many we can squeeze in here that all gardeners make. Number 1 is not paying attention to what to plant and when to plant it.
Right, so you want to make sure that you're planting your crops at the right time. A lot of people might plant their spinach or their cool weather crops like lettuce, radishes, spinach too late. They might think that they can
at the same time as tomatoes.
At the same time as
summer,
tomatoes,
yes.
Yeah. And that's not true. So if you do that, you might not even have those cool weather crops, or if you do, it's not going to be very long as if you started them as soon as the ground can be worked.
The next one is kind of going in tail with that, when ignoring the seasons and not realizing, and we've talked about this on the program, that some gardeners only think that gardening season is from Memorial Day to Labor Day here in the upper Midwest. California, it's a little different.
It's very common for people to think that, and especially if you've lived here all your life, you might think that, but there's ways you can extend the season on both sides, and you don't even have to do anything special.
Up here in the upper Midwest, Wisconsin, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, in there, you actually have essentially 3 growing seasons. You got a spring, a summer, and a fall. And that in the spring and the fall are essentially the same variety of crops, and the summer is your warm weather crops. But you can get 3 seasons in here. In California, where you have nearly over 250 days of frost-free weather, you can grow a lot of things that are more difficult for us to grow because of our short season of nearly 100 days less of frost-free time.
One is having too many plants. So basically, say you started 45 seeds, and you only have space for 40 of that plant, and you feel bad because you started 45 seeds, you have 45 starts, and you don't want to get rid of those 5 extra starts. You don't want to just jam them in because you have those seeds, starts. You want to make sure that you space them out properly according to how they should be spaced out. Otherwise, you could have problems later on in the season
with diseases. We were at a talk yesterday, and one of the guests that came to our talk said that she has problems or has had problems with powdery mildew with her zucchini plants because she feels bad about planting too many too tight, and she overcrowds her plants. And we encouraged her to only plant what you had space for when it comes to that type of thing.
She said she felt bad because she was going to kill those. She was going to kill those extra seedlings, and you can also try to give them away to people too. But if you're going to try to jam them in, you might hurt your plant later on down the road by
overcrowding. Nutrients, competition for nutrients in the soil, and diseases can be spread a lot easier and quicker if you crowd your plants. So if you have only space for 5, don't try to put 7 in there. You're only going to hurt the production of the plant down the road. Another one is forgetting to harden the plants off.
So hardening plants off is basically if you start your own seeds. So if you buy seeds from the garden center, you don't have to worry about this. If you start your own seeds, you're taking time, about the week before, you're going to put them outside to acclimate them to the weather. The reason you do this is because Joey has an example here, just like if you were super warm, you jumped into an ice cold pool or a bath, you're going to get this shock. Same thing for your plants. Not that you're putting them on ice cold conditions, but you are putting them out into the elements. They're going from a 68 to 70 degree home and then going into 30, 40, 50, 60.
Yeah, whatever the case is there.
Yeah.
So you have to get them acclimated to transition of warm to outdoor temperatures over a period of a week's time. There's a lot of charts and videos online to show how to do it correctly, but we have to harden them off because if you take that plant from indoors, put it outside, plant it, the root zone, the air temperature, 99% of the time that plant's most likely going to die, and you've put a lot of effort into working and on the plant and it not surviving because you didn't harden it off right.
And then we have not paying attention to what your plants need. So if you continually have the same issue every year, or your plant is looking like it has curled leaves or has yellow spots, you need to pay attention to that because it could be something in your soil, it could be the elements around it, it could be something your neighbor is spraying on their grass.
A chemical drift.
Yeah, so you kind of have to pay attention to what your plants are telling you essentially. If you see little holes in your plants, it could be a pest.
For any of you who have gardened at any length of time, you know it's not, we plant the seeds, you know you do not just plant the seeds, walk away and come back in 30, 70, 90 days and harvest your crop. It's just like,
that's not how it works.
It's like raising a child. You have to take care of it in order for it to be successful. With anything in life, you have to put effort towards it. It's not a walk away and everything will be fine, come back and we have an abundance of harvest to reap in to the kitchen. It doesn't work that way.
Definitely not. See, it's something that you're committing to and you are spending it's an investment of time.
And another mistake people make is, and ties into this, is starting too large. Oh, I want a big garden. We all want a big garden. We all want to be on TV. It's not always successful.
I don't know if we all want to be on TV, but we all do have that idea of the bigger garden.
Bigger is better.
And you have this beautiful vegetables growing.
I've seen it on TV. I've seen it on YouTube. If they can do it, I can do it. And you might be capable of achieving that 200, 400, 1,800 square foot garden. We started with 900, then worked to 1,100, then worked to 1,800. And
sometimes you have a partner that you do this with that you both put the work in. I always tell people if I didn't have Joey, I would not have this ginormous garden that we do have.
What is the saying? Many hands create little work?
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep. So sometimes you have to think about that too, what you can manage. If you work full time, if you have hobbies, if you have whatever social groups or children or whatever you have, sometimes you need to bring it back to what's realistic for you.
Yeah, if you're not going to if you do not feel you can commit to X amount of hours a week in the garden, whether it's weeding, harvesting, maintaining, whatever the case is, you're not going to be successful. Start with something small, 4x4 foot raised bed. Nothing wrong with growing 2 tomatoes, 2 peppers, some carrots. That's fine. You're getting something, you're harvesting something, and it's meeting what your criteria you have set for yourself. Understanding that.
And then not feeding the soil. So we actually did a talk on this at the home show yesterday about the importance of feeding your soil. Your plants, there's this thought sometimes in the garden industry that you feed your plants, that you provide them some sort of nutrients.
We've talked to companies who have sold potting soil, I'll leave it at that said, oh, you don't, the potting soil is not, you feed the plant, you don't let the soil feed the plant.
Right, and that's very wrong. So you want to feed your soil because your plants will uptake what's in the soil, and that's the proper way to garden, is to have good soil.
It's nature. That's what nature does.
That's what nature does. If you go to the forest, you look at the forest, plants are growing, thriving. There's no like
trolls or elves or whatever,
feeding the plants. No. So this is how you properly grow within harmony of your ecosystem and nature, is you feed the soil. So there's many ways you can do that. You can bring in compost. You can make your own compost. You can add organic material. You can add coffee grounds. You can add leaves. You can add your own yard waste as long as it's not been sprayed with something else. So there's a lot of different ways you can feed your soil, but that's the big thing, is you want to feed your soil. And that also includes allowing worms to come to your garden. Don't put worms in your garden, but if you add organic matter to your soil, the worms are going to come. What is your saying?
If you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah. So there's just some of the mistakes that all gardeners make, regardless of who you are, where you're from, what your education level is. We all make those mistakes in the garden, and the only wrong thing to do is not learn from the mistakes in which you made. Well, when we come back, we're going to go over some rules of gardening, some golden rules in which we should follow that apply to all types of gardening, no matter where you're at. You're listening to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show.
For more gardening information, visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com. But wait till after the show. We still have more garden information to talk about.
Pomona's Universal Pectin is high-quality pectin that gels reliably with low amounts of any sweetener. If you're trying to reduce the amount of sugar in your diet, you'll love Pomona's Universal Pectin. Now you can make healthy homemade jams and jellies sweetened to your taste. You can use sugar, honey, or any alternative sweetener you'd like. Pomona's Universal Pectin keeps indefinitely when stored in an airtight container. Easy to use, versatile, and comes with directions and recipes in every box. Find out more and where to buy at PomonaPectin.com. Available at most natural food stores and online.
Do you seek safe, effective nutrition solutions to boost your health and quality of life? Standard Process is your trusted whole food supplement manufacturer with 90 years of expertise. Our third-generation, family-owned company proudly grows nutrient-rich ingredients at our certified organic farm in Palmyra, Wisconsin, enabling us to produce high-quality whole food solutions that change lives. For help identifying the best supplements for you, find a local healthcare professional today at standardprocess.com/ patience.
Shield and Seal vacuum sealers and the highest quality vacuum sealing products. Unique black and clear and all black bags, protecting your produce and product better than traditional bags. Find out more at shieldandseal.com.
Your plants are greener when using Hydrobox, revolutionary in plant watering. Hydrobox catches the water from water and delivers it straight to the roots to release when plants need it. You will water 3 times less often and plants grow faster. Hydrobox is an innovative little gel-filled pouch that goes in the bottom of a pot, container, or grow bag. Multiple sizes based on need. Easy to install and use. For indoor and outdoor use. Saves time and money. Lasts up to 3 years. Look for it at HomeDepot.com or visit GoHydrobox.com.
New Natural Healing Ointment, USDA certified organic. Get your tube at NUNUhealing.com. You don't have full sun? You can still garden. This garden tip is sponsored by BioSafe, organic solutions that are effective. They offer an array of eco-friendly products, from plant food to fertilizer to one-of-a-kind herbicides, organic weed killer. Grow stronger, healthier with BioSafe. Visit biosafe.net to learn more and save 10% on your next order by using coupon code TWVG at checkout. If you only have partial shade in your yard, meaning 4 to 6 hours of non-full sun, there are dozens of crops you can still grow. If you grow it for the leaves or the greens, you can plant it. Take the pain out of planting with the Pro Plugger 5-in-1 planting tool. Step, twist, pull, and you're ready to plant. Digs perfect size planting holes. Soil gets stored in the tube and empties from the top. Help for weeding. ProPlugger.com. Do you have a problem with deer or small herbivores eating your vegetation? There is a natural solution that is safe for your pets and family. Bobex is the answer. An environmentally friendly solution to protect your plants, will not wash off, and is guaranteed. Bobex Deer was independently tested against 9 known competitors and rated 93% effective, second only to a physical barrier. Bobex can be used on all types of ornamentals, trees, and shrubs. Ask for it by name at your local independent garden center. Find out more, visit Bobex.com. BOBBEX.com.
Absolutely packed with helpful gardening information. Clyde's VegetablePlantingChart.com. Absolutely packed with helpful gardening information. Clyde's VegetablePlantingChart.com.
When it comes to bulk landscaping materials, Blue Mills Garden and Landscape Center is where everyone goes. Whatever the project, we have the materials you need with over 40 varieties to choose from. Soils, mulches, gravels, decorative stones, fresh cut sod. Blue Mills has these products in stock and ready for easy pickup or fast delivery. So what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get your yard back into shape. Stop in and pick these materials up or call us for delivery today. Nobody does bulk landscaping materials better than Blue Mills Garden and Landscape Center.
Blue Mills, 4930 West Loomis Road, 414-282-4220. The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show is brought to you by the following: Eco Garden Systems, Row Maker, Shield and Seal, World's Coolest Rain Gauge, Big Fats Hot Sauce, Chapin International, Drip Garden, Norwalk Juicers, New Healing Ointment, Phyllom BioProducts, Soil Savvy, Tree Ripe. Find all sponsors at the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com and thank them for their support.
Not listening to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show? That would be like trying to take a hearing test in a bowling alley. It just doesn't make sense. Now back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden Radio Show with your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird.
Dr. Earth is committed to clean and healthy gardening through creating cutting-edge, natural, organic, garden-friendly products. Based on research and innovation, after 28 years, they are the leader in organic lawn and garden industry. They do not use ingredients such as biosolids or composted household waste or even synthetic chemicals. Instead, they have manure-free fertilizer, organic soils, insect control, and liquid fertilizer. If you want to grow the best quality food organically to feed your family, that is the founding principle of what Dr. Earth is all about. They have experts to find the most innovative ways to help you grow your best organically. Visit drearth.com for more information and where to buy.
Rules are good for a lot of things in life, and they apply to gardeners as well. We want to follow some general guidelines to help us increase our success, as well as give us a direction in which to go and to grow. We talked about 4 mistakes in which we all make. We're going to go 5 rules of gardening here, and there's no set, here's where you go to the University of XYZ, and here's what the universal... These are ones that we've looked at, we've come up with ourselves, that we feel are a good guideline to help us all get a basic foundation of where we need to begin when we start our garden and gardening throughout the season.
So you want to focus on preventing the problems more than curing them.
Proactive. Not reactive.
Yeah. So even like in the first segment, we talked about spacing plants properly, and this is important, especially if you're growing things like viney crops, because viney crops do tend to get mildew, and the reason they get mildew is not only because of climate, but also because if they're planted too close together, they're crowding each other, they're not allowed proper space to air out. So that's one thing. You can also plant hardier plants. Maybe you want to grow on both sides of the season, so you would plant hardier plants. You would also, when you're picking your seedlings, you're going to look for healthy looking seedlings as opposed to ones that look sad or are overproductive.
I'll throw another handy, helpful plant picking tip out. If you're looking for plants and they're in the 6-packs, look for plants, one, that are healthy, like you spoke about. But also, if you have a 6-pack of cabbages, and you can find one that actually has 7 plants in it because an extra seed, there's nothing wrong, and you're not going to hurt the plant by pulling the 2 plants apart that are in that one cell, and you've actually increased your plants, the number of plants, decreased the value of it, because now each plant is a little cheaper because you got 7 plants or 8 plants instead of 6 plants. So keep that in mind, and they do have that very frequently at the garden centers, where they have extra seeds that fell in the tray that benefits you.
And then if problems do occur, you want to identify it before treating it. You might go to the garden center and it says, you find something to spray on your whatever, and it says it gets rid of pests, diseases, blah, 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 all purpose. But that could be bad, because you could be getting rid of beneficial insects.
Killing everything.
So you need to figure out what the issue is first.
Additionally, whenever you have a problem, reach out, and if you can't find the resources or the identification capabilities online, reach out to your local university extension, reach out to your garden center. You can send us an email at twvgshow@gmail.com, but here's the key: send a photograph. Makes the identification of the problem much, much easier. And if you bring a diseased plant to a garden center to have them identified, put it in a closed zip-top bag so you're not infecting everything in the garden center. Hey, what's this? And you're flopping it around.
And make sure when you're asking the question that you are specific. Don't say this is
details are important.
This is in the corner of my yard by maybe a tree, and you have no idea. So I've had people ask me questions, and then they're not very.
Why do you think my plant's dying?
Yeah, like what plant? Where is it? What's going on? Yeah, so you have to understand, yes, there are experts out there, but you need to also supply good information.
You have to help yourself in order for people to help you identify what the problem is. We're all going to have problems. It's not going to be a free growing season. You're going to have issues.
So start with a soil test, and this is after you have applied organic amendments. You could start with a bare soil test, maybe just moved into a home, and you want an idea. But if this is after maybe you've amended the soil for a while, you've been working the soil for a while, and you feel that maybe you're lacking something, you could do a soil test, but just make sure that it's ideal for what you're doing. Don't go to some random corner of your yard you've never touched and grab the soil. You want to use the soil where you're going to grow.
Soil Savvy, it's a sponsor, mysoilsavvy.com, sponsor the program. You can use TWVG19, save 10% off at checkout. You get the package, you follow the instructions, you ship it off to their lab. They give you 14 points of analyzation of your soil to tell you what's good, what's bad, what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done, in order to identify, to create the healthiest soil for your backyard.
So,
because you can't look at the soil and go, that's got a high pH, that's got a low pH,
no, there's
telltale signs.
Yeah, they're scientists.
Yeah.
Who that's their job.
But there's tell signs that the plant may be showing you, but until you get that actual graph to indicate the actual specifics, you're not going to know.
You want to mulch to reduce weeds and maintain soil moisture. So this is important. We like it because, well, and there's also another reason is because it prevents a lot of splash up onto your plants. And there's good things in your soil, there's also bad things in your soil, and this isn't everybody's soil. And when you water or it rains, if you can prevent splash up, that's good. That's why we encourage mulching. But also it does retain moisture, and it helps suppress a lot of weeds. If you ever look at a very manicured garden, whether it be at somewhere like a botanical garden or somebody's backyard, they usually have a lot of mulch because that helps suppress a lot of weeds, and it also retains the moisture.
Mulch is your friend when it comes to gardening. It really benefits you just like it does the forest floor.
Yeah, it helps. The forests, they don't go. Nobody goes and rakes back that coverage, that ground coverage. So the same thing for your garden. Think about some sort of coverage for the ground.
Don't fight a reoccurring problem. If you've had the same problem in your garden year after year, what's the definition of insanity, Holly?
It's doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results.
Now, if you try something different every year and the results continue to occur, that's different. But if you say, okay, well, I've had this problem year after year, I'm going to put the tomato plant in the same spot, you're going to have that problem at time. So before we even get things in the garden here, or early in the season, remember what problems you may have persistently had year after year in your garden, and do some research. Find out, okay, this is the reason why this is occurring. Or reach out to individuals who may have a level of education in that particular field about that particular problem, and see what they can identify and help you with in achieving the success in which you're looking for.
Right. So another thing is sometimes you just have to embrace that problem and use it to your advantage. Maybe you have a really low-lying area in your yard. There's a lot of moss that grows there. Maybe plant some plants that would love all that. Maybe plant like a rain garden type situation, a plant that would love all that, or plants that would love all that moisture. Or if you have a dry area, enhance that or embrace that and add irrigation. Sometimes it's, instead of trying to fight it, you need to embrace it and work with it.
Work with it. Another thing you can work with is Phyllom BioProducts. You got problems with Japanese beetles in your yards or grubs, this is the product for you.
We have a lot of questions about Japanese beetles that come in, especially because we've been hearing all about
the devastation
of them. And there's other things like weevils, borers. It's warming up soon. Maybe there'll be grubs. And spring is just around the corner, or it's basically here. We're just kind of waiting for the right weather to start getting out in our garden. There's all sorts of articles that you can find. And Phyllom BioProduct has all sorts of stuff to take care of adult and larva stages of pests, and they don't pose a beneficial risk to beneficial insects, so they don't harm the good bugs, like the good beetles, the good
beneficial insects.
Yeah, like the ladybugs, the bees, and the butterflies. So you can go to PhyllomBioProducts.com, PHYLLOM BioProducts.com for more information.
All organic, all natural. It will help you fight the problem and not devastate the ecosystem in your world. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk with Old Alabama Gardener. He has got a wealth of knowledge that we are excited to extract from him. You're listening to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show.
Got a question? Email the show at twvgshow@gmail.com.
Power Planter is a family-owned earth auger manufacturer. The Power Planter earth auger will transform your garden experience. It helps homeowners and professionals complete almost any planting or digging project faster and more efficiently than using a shovel or a spade. Power Planter earth auger creates loose dirt when drilling holes, giving your plants better root-to-soil contact to help reduce plant loss for healthier, more beautiful trees, shrubs, flowers, vegetables, and grass. All of our augers are hand-welded and made in the USA, lifetime warranty. Find the size that fits your project at powerplanter.com. Beans and Barley Market and Cafe, a neighborhood specialty grocery store for the east side and greater Milwaukee area, where you can find all you need, from fresh produce to bakery to organic frozen dinners, from wine to fresh squeezed carrot juice. A health food store with hundreds of products, vitamins, supplements, bath and body items, magazines, cards, books, and a knowledgeable staff. Catering available, open daily at 8 a.m. The restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week with a menu of good, healthy, homemade food, including vegetarian and non-vegetarian specialties. 1901 East North Avenue, Milwaukee, 414-278-7878, and online at beansandbarley.com.
Flame Engineering, home of the Weed Dragon, the perfect propane torch kit for home and garden use. For killing weeds, no need to pull or spray. 100 other uses. Find out more at flameengineering.com. Use coupon code WVG19 to get free shipping. Drip Garden is a self-watering, self-fertilizing, pop-up vertical garden with automatic timer. Easy to use, durable, grow 36 plants in a 4-foot by 4-foot area. DripGarden.com. Garden seeds do not have to cost a fortune, just 99 cents at migardener.com. Now with over 450 varieties of non-GMO, heirloom, and organic flower, vegetable, and herb seeds available year-round. Pay less and get more seeds. Shipping as low as $2.50. That just makes sense. Go to migardener.com for seeds and garden needs, tools, and special blend fertilizers. migardener.com. It's that simple. Family owned and operated.
Gardeners know the hardest part of building a garden is building the rows. Now there is a long overdue patented, hand-pulled, heavy-duty, lightweight row building marvel that you can find at rowmaker.com. The rowmaker can easily and quickly build multiple straight-line, perfectly spaced rows of proportional height, width, and depth. This yellow workhorse makes building rows easy and so fast it will save you hours. Just pull it across your tilled garden and work smarter, not harder. See it to believe it at rowmaker.com. Planting your garden will never get easier.
Get your garden growing with a Chapin garden seeder. Eliminate the backbreaking work of planting seeds in your garden. The Model 8701B seeder makes it easy to accomplish planting rows of seeds of various sizes. Find the Chapin garden seeder online or order it through your local Home Depot, True Value, or Do It Best hardware store. To see the full line of Chapin lawn and garden products, go to www.chapinmfg.com. The Norwalk juicer is the best cold-pressed juicer on the market. Studies have shown the Norwalk juicer produces 50 to 100% more juice than other juicers. And juice from the Norwalk is higher in minerals and nutritionally superior. Not only do you get more juice from your produce, but also better quality juice. Check it out at norwalkjuicers.com. Use coupon code GARDENTALK to get free continental U.S. shipping on the Model 290 juicer. Eco Garden Systems is a revolutionary way to grow food. A fully contained raised platform with a conventional watering system, solar power unit optional. Made from recycled material in the U.S., Eco Garden Systems raised garden bed offers sustainable organic gardening that is environmentally sound, quick and easy to set up, maintain, and fun to use. Fill your garden with soil and plant your seeds. Your Eco Garden will take care of the rest. Can set up in backyard, patio, and even your driveway, any level surface. For more information, visit ecogardensystems.com. Use coupon code WIVEG 2019 and get $295 off listed price of $1,695 plus free shipping, a $250 value at ecogardensystems.com. Weeds are more powerful than your vegetables and they will overtake your garden. It's time for this week's Michigan Garden Moment. This Michigan Garden Moment is brought to you by migardener.com. With over 450 varieties of heirloom and organic flowers, vegetables, and herb seeds, all for 99 cents a pack. Find out more at migardener.com. Weeds can overtake your garden and choke out the vegetables and fruits in which you're trying to grow. There are several ways in which you can reduce the amount of weeds you are getting in your garden. One is lessen the amount of soil disturbance that you perform on your garden by tilling. The less you till or spade or disturb the soil, you're keeping the seeds that are under the soil from getting exposed to sunlight and oxygen and more moisture than what they were having, and then they will reduce the amount of weeds in which germinate. As the weeds begin to germinate, you can take a hoe and simply scrape across the top to kill them or cut them off. What you really want to achieve when weeding is not so much cutting the tops of the weeds off. They will regrow. And also whenever you till, if there's large root systems under the ground of weeds, you're chopping them up by chopping them up, they will propagate new growth tips and more populate your garden. So removing the weeds and the roots in their entirety will greatly reduce the amount of weeds you have in your garden. Mulching is another great way of suppressing the weeds. Bonus, it holds moisture in the soil as well. Less watering. You can use mulch such as shredded leaves, seed-free and chemical-free grass clippings, as well as possibly shredded paper. Other people will use straw. It's a way to reduce the amount of weeds in your garden and to keep your vegetables growing healthy. This Michigan Garden Moment is brought to you by migardener.com. With over 450 varieties of heirloom and organic flowers, vegetables, and herb seeds, all for 99 cents a pack. Find out more at migardener.com. The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show is brought to you by the following: Clyde's Vegetable Planting Chart, Dharmaceutical, Dr. Earth, Flame Engineering, Handy Safety Knife, Hydrobox, Wisconsin Greenhouse Company, M.I. Gardener, Outpost Natural Food Co-op, Rootmaker, Soil Diva, Blue Mills Landscape and Garden Center. Find all sponsors at the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com and thank them for their support. The days are getting longer and spring is just about here temperature-wise, and that means it's time to get your landscape and your garden back into gear, and you can do that at Blue Mills Landscape and Garden Center. They have over 40 varieties of bulk material, compost, mulch, sand, gravel, whatever you need, you can get it there, and you don't need a truck or trailer to get it to your property. We've done it in the trunk of a car before, and it's worked very well. Also, their spring kickoff, May 4th, Saturday, 11 to 2.
And we'll be there April 11th.
I'm talking on growing great vegetables and herbs. Now, they say the classes are full, but I've been told there's a few spots available for our class. So, 6:30, Thursday, April 11th. And all that can be found at
4930 West Loomis Road in Greenfield, just south of Layton, or call 414-282-4220. That's BlueMills.com.
Back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden Radio Show with your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird.
Holly, let's go to the IV Organics 3-in-1 Plant Guard Hotline and bring in our next guest.
We have the Old Alabama Gardener on the line, and he is from YouTube. He's got a nice YouTube channel. It's all about helping you, a new or developing gardener, grow vegetables. His videos are short, to the point, and with great detail. He does from seed to harvest type videos, some cooking, pressure canning, how to use your garden for your health. But he also shares his wisdom from his 70-plus years of life and all sorts of good information. Welcome to the program, Old Alabama Gardener.
Good morning.
Well, thank you for taking time to join us on the program and share some of your gardening wisdom with not only Holly and myself, but all of our listeners.
Well, one of the things that goes on today in America is that the soil, because it has been farmed for so many years, is now depleted of nutrients. And food grown on soil that's depleted of nutrients cannot feed your body. That's why Americans are now one of the most sickest people on earth.
Well, leading into that brings me to my first question. You're in Alabama, and we'll talk about your soil, but in general, how do you build your soil organically in order to include those nutrients that the plants need for us to be more healthier when we grow our vegetables?
Yeah, well, one of the things you got to do is you got to add back the minerals and the nutrients that you take out of the soil. And one of the ways to do that is by adding rock dust, and it's usually in a powder form, and it's readily available to your plant. And the brand that I use is called Azomite, Azomite, Azomite. And you can get it at most garden stores or farm stores. And that's how I do it. Add it back, as well as compost, of course.
Now, do you use only plant-based materials for the compost, or do you use animal waste as well and mix it in with your compost?
I do. I raise my own rabbit, and I feed my own rabbit with non-GMO feed. And so I use the rabbit manure in the compost and directly in the garden.
Great. Now, we know a lot of people love growing tomatoes. Most people love growing tomatoes. What are a couple of your favorite tomato growing tips?
Number one tip about tomatoes, do not let the soil splash upon the leaves. that transmits a disease, and probably take your tomato plants out, kill them in a pretty short time. And you can do that by, once you plant your tomatoes, put down a covering of some sort. I usually use a paper bag, and then cover over the top of that with about 6 inches of leaves. Just leaves that I rake up in the wood. And that prevents the soil from splashing up on the leaves.
And we talked about that in the first and second segment, how important mulch is. We have to kind of mimic what nature does in our garden to allow the plants to grow healthier.
I agree.
When we deal with squash bugs, a lot of people, we get a lot of questions, and you have covered this extensively on your YouTube channel. What do you do with the squash bugs? How do we get rid of them?
How do we deal with a squash bug? Well, first of all, let me say the squash bugs are really not the problem. They do not kill your plants, and they do not eat your squash. Now, people don't like them, but they are not the problem that kills your plants. But anyhow, if you want to deal with the squash bugs, I recommend some sort of a contact insecticide.
Okay, and what would we spray that on, or we dust that on, or what's the application procedure for that?
Well, the one I use is a liquid, so you spray it on.
Okay, great. So we grow garlic, and I always say it's stupid easy to grow, and we teach a class on growing garlic, and it's fun to grow. How do you side dress your garlic?
Well, I use. Now, I do not grow totally organic. I use both organic methods and some commercial fertilizer. And so I will use, when my garlic gets about 4 to 6 inches tall, I will go in and put some triple 13. And triple 13 is nothing more than a balanced fertilizer. It has 13% nitrogen, 13% phosphorus, and 13% potassium. So I'll put about maybe half a teaspoon right down beside each garlic. I'll make a little hole. Usually I'll use a pencil and pour the fertilizer right in there and cover it back over.
And you do that just early in the spring or multiple times, or how often is the frequency of the side dressing for the garlic?
Yeah, once I get them up to about 4 inches tall, that's the first time I do that. Then I'll side dress about every 3 weeks, but then I'll switch to a ammonium sulfate, which is 27% nitrogen and 0 phosphorus to 0 potassium, and I'll side dress, and that's a liquid, by the way. No, I'm sorry, that's a powder. So I'll put that on about every 3 weeks all the way to harvest.
Okay, great. Now, we get a lot of questions about moles and things that dig under your soil. How do you deal with moles?
Well, the moles do not eat your plants. They're a meat eater, meaning that they only eat grubs and worms. So the moles themselves do not eat your plants. They do, however, tunnel under the plants, which creates a open space where the roots grow, and the plants don't do well when their plants are in an open air space. So there is a product put out by one of the companies that you can buy. It's a jelly-looking worm, and you use that. You put that in the run. They call it the run, or the little tunnel that the mole makes. The mole will eat it, and it will kill him.
That works. So I guess that, just as long as it's effective, and because we want to get rid of the moles, because like you talked about, they destroy they create problems for our plants to grow on that. We get questions about Colorado potato beetles, and what we have found, and you illustrated that it's not just on your potatoes, but it can be on your eggplants and your peppers. What is a Colorado potato beetle, and what do they do, and how do we get rid of them?
Well, the Colorado potato beetle, as you say, it primarily affects the potatoes. It's about the size of an English pea, so it's not very large, not very small either. I find, really, believe it or not, the best way is I'll walk through my plants pretty often, and when I see the eggs, there'll be a cluster of little yellow eggs, and at that point, the Colorado potato beetle is in the soft, egg stage. So I just either take that leaf completely off, and mash it with my foot, mash it with my fingers. I do not spray any more than I absolutely have to, and that's one you don't really have to. So just hand pick them and drop them in a little can of water.
And just dispose of them that way. So, with that being said, how did you figure out that you could manage the size of garden that you had? We talk about this on the program quite a bit, that you want to be able to garden, but manage what you garden and don't overexert yourself by trying to do too much too quickly.
Of course, I'm 79 years old, so I do get out and work every day. But I plant my rows wide enough apart that I can go down through them with a tractor. Now this is a small garden tractor with a rototiller, and that way I can keep most of the grass and weeds out. I still have to get in with the hoe close by to remove grass and weeds, and sometimes I've got to get down on my knees right there by the plant, start pulling grass and weeds. So, it's important that you keep the ground clean, because the grass takes away nutrients from your plants and it harbors other insects. So it's important to keep your garden as clean as you possibly can.
Absolutely. Well, Old Alabama Gardener, we greatly appreciate you taking time to join us in the program. How can our listeners find more about you? How can they get a hold of you and find your videos on YouTube?
Well, the easiest way to just do a Google search, and you're going to type in the words Old, O-L-D, and the Alabama Gardener, that's Gardener, and put quotation marks before and after those three words, and that'll zero you in right to my channel.
Well, we greatly appreciate you taking time to join us and sharing your wisdom with not only Holly and myself, but all of our listeners.
Well, I appreciate you having me on your show, and as we say, wish everybody happy gardening.
Absolutely. When we come back, it'll be your garden questions and our garden answers. You've got a garden question, we can answer that. You can also email us at twvgshow@gmail.com. You're listening to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show.
Send your questions in now to the IV Organics 3-in-1 Plant Garden Instant Access Text Hotline at 414-368-9311. That number again, text 414-368-9311 and send your garden question in.
Root Assassin, a garden tool that does all the root functions with its advanced shovel that has serrated edges on both sides. Find out more information at rootassassinshovel.com. World's coolest raingauge.com. Need I say more?
Never question your garden soil again. Know what's in your soil with confidence. Professional grade soil test for the home gardener. My Soil Savvy has the easiest soil test on the market. Ship it to them, get your report, emailed with nutrients recommendation, and grow happy, healthy plants. MySoilSavvy.com. Use coupon code TWVG19 and save 10% at checkout.
Here at Outpost Natural Foods, it's not just that we're community-owned that sets us apart. It's the fabulous foods we sell. We celebrate Earth Day every day by offering our customers the finest natural and organic food selections in Greater Milwaukee. Outpost local farmers and vendors provide our stores with a delicious selection of fresh seasonal produce that you won't want to miss. Outpost stores are located in Milwaukee, Wauwatosa, Bayview, and Mequon. We're a real Milwaukee original where anyone can shop and anyone can join. For the whole scoop about Outpost, we invite you to visit www.outpost.coop.
Wisconsin Greenhouse Company has custom-made greenhouses to suit your needs. Grow fruit and vegetables all year long. Strongest greenhouses available that will last a lifetime. Beautiful design available in any size and color. Weather-resistant, energy-efficient to save on that heating cost. Mix and match with glazings to suit your climate. Sturdy and durable, they'll hold up to those heavy snow loads. They'll even add them to homes. For agricultural to lodging to entertaining, it's a great addition to any garden or landscape. Check them out at WisconsinGreenhouseCompany.com. The number one key to healthy, productive plants are the roots. Starting from seed to full-grown plants, RootMaker.com has the answer. From seed starting trays with an innovative design that air prunes the roots, creating a fabulous root system, never again will you have root-bound plants, to multiple gallon grow bag sizes to raised beds. Rootmaker.com has your grow needs covered. Visit rootmaker.com.
Pharmaceuticals essential oils are high grade, very pure, and high in quality. They have synergized blends made with the finest raw materials. For more information and to order, visit Pharmaceuticals.com.
Absolutely packed with helpful gardening information. Clyde's Vegetable Planting Chart.com. Absolutely packed with helpful gardening information. Clyde's Vegetable Planting Chart.com.
Carrots were not always popular on Americans' dinner plates. It's time for this week's Garden Fun Fact. There are over 100 species of edible carrots today. America's dinner plates did not approve of the carrot for the longest time. They finally became fond of it after soldiers returning home from World War I insisted on having carrots because of the consistent contact they had with the vegetable during the war.
Blue Mel's Garden and Landscape Center offers an awesome selection of high-quality garden and landscape products. We have just the plants you're looking for: annuals, perennials, veggies, herbs, and more. Plus, you can always count on us to answer all of your questions and offer expert advice. Blue Mel's also carries the largest selection of bulk landscape materials in the area. Enjoy a beverage from our coffee shop while your kids run around in our huge playground. Join our growing list of highly satisfied customers. Visit the garden center that offers everything you're looking for. Visit Blue Mel's today.
Blue Mel's, 4930 West Loomis Road, 414-282-4220. The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show is brought to you by the following: Ivy Organics, Power Planter, Root Assassin, Beans and Barley, BioSafe, Bobex, Pomona Universal Pectin, Pro Plugger, Standard Process, Tomato Snaps. Find all sponsors at the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com and thank them for their support.
Now back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden Radio Show with your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird.
Ivy Organic 3-in-1 Plant Guard naturally protects plants against damaging sunburn, insects, and rodents, protects newly installed plants and trees, shields pruned and damaged surfaces for use on your roses, fruit and nut trees, ornamental trees, and shrubs. This product is non-toxic, environmentally safe, and organic. For more information, visit ivyorganics.com. You can text it. That's 414-368-9311.
We've had a number of questions come in. We want to address as many as we possibly can. Planting onion. I planted my onion seeds in potting mix. Did I mess up? I saw one of your videos. You used potting soil. Will they still come up?
So, potting mix is used in container gardening. It's fine to start your seeds in. The best quality potting soils do not contain soil or dirt because you can grow on that. But potting mix is good because it's usually a mixture of peat moss, pine bark, and organic materials. And
slow-release
fertilizer. So potting mix is fine.
Let's see here. Next question is from Donna. Hello, could you recommend to me a good seed vendor online? I went to another seed company. We won't reference their website, and I found out that they were not a secure website. I'd like to order a variety of seeds, but I want a secure site. Can you help me out?
So we like MI Gardener. They are the official seed sponsor of the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden Radio Show. But not even because of that, they have their seeds for 99 cents a pack. They're good seeds, and they're a nice young couple, and they're looking out for all the gardeners out there.
Absolutely. Works out great. 460 plus varieties now, and they continue to restock.
So in one of our videos, we talk about using cinnamon to prevent dampening off. They said, I know the cheaper cinnamon you buy in most grocery stores is not real cinnamon. Real cinnamon, right. I believe, comes from Ceylon, and it's a little bit more expensive. So which one does it matter if you use the cheapo stuff, or do you have to go get pure 100% certified cinnamon?
We use the cheap stuff, and it works well. The key here is we want to apply it at the time of planting. Our seed starts in the tray, sprinkle it. That will help ward off soil gnats, as well as prevent dampening off the soil fungus that that will eat away at the plant stalk as they germinate because of over dampness. We only want to water when needed on these seedlings, but cheap cinnamon will work just as fine as the expensive stuff, so it makes no difference on that.
So maybe you're planning for your garden. The deer, they just decimated our garden last year. They do it every year.
This was a question.
Right. This is what somebody's asking. They do it every year, so we decide we're going to build a fence. So what kind of fence should we build? And also, is there any plans we can also do to assist this?
To ward them off.
Ward them off. So deer can jump up to 8 feet high. That doesn't mean they're going to jump 8 feet high in your garden, but you probably would want to build at least a 6-foot fence because they're more likely to jump over a 4-foot fence than a 6-foot fence, and this will deter them. And then if you build the fence, they're not going to work as hard. You could also plant garlic around that, and then certain grasses. There's grasses that deer don't like.
And the other thing, Mexican sunflowers is another one that some people will plant because of the abrasiveness of the leaves that the deers do not want to or do not like eating them. So that's another thing that you can use. You can also you can use Bobex, spray that around the perimeter of your garden. It's an all-natural spray that will repel deer. It does work 93% effective, only second to a physical barrier. It has a very potent smell to it, but it will also deter rabbits, chipmunks, and deer too.
Okay, so I planted my onions 8 days ago. They haven't come up yet. Am I doing something wrong? Should I replant? What should I do?
Onions take up to 14-21 days to germinate. So what you want to do is, one, keep the soil hydrated. Secondly, you want to be patient. Be patient with them, and then they will. And
that's the big thing, is that you might be used to certain plants coming up within a few days or within 5 days or whatever. Some plants take longer, like rosemary.
Up to 28 days.
28 days. So Joey's got his little calendar up when we plant our rosemary, and so sometimes you just have to pay attention. It'll say the germination time on the packet.
Another one about planting here. I planted peppers 2 weeks ago. Only 4 came up. Should I throw the rest out or give it more time? You want to give it more time. Peppers are another one. 21 days that it takes for some peppers to germinate. And the key with peppers is you want warm soil. So if you're in an unclimatized basement or garage, you want to have some type of heat mat underneath that. Otherwise, the seeds are not going to germinate, and they will sit and rot in the soil. Next question from Roxanne. At what nighttime temperatures, can I take the mulch off my garlic? It's been 23 for lows at night and 40s in the daytime. I'm in North Dakota. Well, it depends on how thick the mulch is on your garlic. If it's only 2 or 3 inches, the garlic's going to come up just fine. If it's really thick mulch of straw or other material, then you want to start removing it when the nighttime temperatures get above freezing, and that will help warm the soil and get that garlic stimulated, and the bulbs will start sprouting very quickly. But yeah, if you can leave the mulch on, that will greatly enhance weed suppression and water retention in your garden. But again, if it's really thick, you want to get it removed whenever the nighttime temperature is above freezing. Latona from Michigan asked, I had a lot of slugs in my traditional garden last year and can't think of anything I did differently from past years. It was the worst I've seen in 20 years. What is a good way to control or just kill them organically? Thanks for the information. With that question, let's go out to Christine. She is the farm operational manager at Standard Process, and see what she has to offer for her advice. Standard Process is your trusted whole food supplement manufacturer for over 90 years. To help identify the best supplements for you, find your local healthcare professional today. Go to standardprocess.com/patient.
Hi, this is Christine Mason. I'm the farm manager at Standard Process in Palmyra, Wisconsin. Latona from Warren, Michigan has an issue with slugs in her garden last year, and she wanted to know if there was something she could do to minimize their impact. And slugs are nasty little creatures for gardens and for plants. We are 100% organic, and so the way we solve pest issues is organically approved. I think we can tackle slugs too ways, Latona. I think that we could be proactive and put down things such as diatomaceous earth. I personally use wool pellets, and they work awesome. You sprinkle them around the plant. You could use eggshells. I also put out my old used coffee grounds, so you could be proactive that way. You can also, once you see you have an issue, use traps, such as putting out a little beer and trapping the slugs that way. So all of those are organically approved and good for your garden.
Thank you, Christine. Always appreciate your advice on topics, and especially ones like slugs that affect many gardeners. All right, let's answer another question in regards to coffee grounds. Do you have any information on using coffee grounds as mulch around tomatoes? I was recently listening to a podcast where they were talking about how good this was for tomatoes. Well, here's the answer to your question. No, you do not want to use coffee grounds as a mulch material around any plant. Use coffee grounds when put on the surface of the soil will create a crust and prohibit moisture from getting to the soil. It's a barrier. Basically, you might as well have plastic over top of the ground. What you want to use your used coffee grounds for is to mix them in with your compost pile up to 10%. You want to use them into your garden, incorporate them. As coffee grounds contain about a 2% nitrogen, less than 0.5% of phosphorus and potassium, but it is also very good for earthworms, for adding organic material to the soil. You want to work them in, because if you just broadcast them like fertilizer across the garden, they will, yes, eventually get into the ground, but their nutrient value will be depleted because that nitrogen will evaporate into the atmosphere. So you want to work them in. How much do you work in per square foot? We use about 1 5-gallon bucket per 20 to 25 square feet. Coffee grounds, the coffee filters, we go to the local coffee shop, bring a 5-gallon bucket. They fill it up. Within a day, they call us, we pick it up. And we go ahead and broadcast that in, then work it into the soil. You can spade it in, you can till it in, whatever you want to do. We work it in with a spade, and you don't have to get it very deep, just a couple of inches, and it works very, very well. You do not have to worry about the potential of the coffee grounds making your soil more acidic, because during the brewing process, the acidity in the coffee grounds has already been brewed out. So the NPK level of the coffee grounds is nearly at a 7 or neutral on the scale. Well, we were out of time, and we certainly appreciate yours. Before I get into what's coming up next week on the program, I want to remind you that
Power Planter is a family-owned earth auger manufacturer. The Power Planter earth auger will transform your garden experience. It helps homeowners and professionals complete almost any planting or digging project faster and more efficiently than using a shovel or a spade. Power Planter earth auger creates loose dirt when drilling holes, giving your plants better root-to-soil contact to help reduce plant loss for healthier, more beautiful trees, shrubs, flowers, vegetables, and grass. All of our augers are hand-welded and made in the USA, lifetime warranty. Find the size that fits your project at powerplanter.com.
Coming up on the program next week, don't miss it. Tune in, same channel, same station, same location. We're going to go over how you can grow successful tomatoes. Regardless if you've already got them in the ground now or you're about to put them in the ground, we'll go over successful tips that we have found to help your crop grow better. As well as we'll go over a list of plants in which you can put in your garden that you will get a lot of production off of. Plus, our guest will be Joe Karsten. He is the author of the Straw Bale Garden book. Plus your garden questions. Miss any portion of this program or want to revisit it in its entirety, you can do that by going to the website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, and clicking on the radio tab at the top of the page. For past shows and seasons, you can look under the Season 1 and Season 2 tab or the Highlight tab on the right-hand side. Or go to your favorite podcast-providing website and search the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show or the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Podcast. Until next week, for Holly Baird, I'm Joy Baird. We will see you in the garden.
You have been listening to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show. Tell a friend and join Joey and Holly again next week so we can all grow together. The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show is a production of the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com in association with WI Garden Media Broadcasting, live from the WNOV 860 AM and the W293CX 106.5 FM, Courier Communication Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.